Brad, it is great to see you again, my favorite dog trainer. I remember we had quite a conversation about that last time. I love dogs, so it was great to speak with you about them. That was about 5 months ago. At the time, you had made 40,000 from crypto that you attributed to lessons you learned and skills you learned from the crypto campus. So since then, are you still in crypto? Are you doing other things? What's up with you?
Yeah, so I'm actually out of crypto right now, physically speaking, as in I'm in the sidelines. And that's a good thing
Mhm.
because we're in a bear market. But yes, I'm still in both the investing campus and the trading campus. I'm in both of them daily. And I got to give a shout out to both professors for constantly and perpetually always working to make things better and more fun and interactive. And I was just talking to someone the other day about this, how the professors in the real world aren't just like doing what they've got to do. They're going above and beyond, and it shows. It shows. And what's an example of this? So like Michael, right? Trade of the day, right? That's brand new, right? Daily levels, trade analysis. So each of these little sections are extremely beneficial to someone like me who's super busy. I go in, click 5 minutes, trade of the day. Does this interest me or not? Okay, not so much. Boom, move to the next one. You got trade of the day. Daily levels is fantastic. So that's just seeing the levels on a daily time frame. Because as well, I don't know how much you know about crypto. I don't want to see as we all
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I
but
did. I did. I've gone through quite a bit, so you can go as in depth as you want into it.
yeah, so daily levels is just huge because I'm busy, I'm on my feet, I'm moving and grooving. So if I want to set a stop loss or a limit order, watching that video is very helpful. And Michael's just like, I don't know, he hits the nail on the head like quite often with these daily levels. It's unbelievable. So with that being said, like a lot of this stuff is new. It's not like they're just sitting there like a robot, like, oh, I got to go on and do it. And I'm saying this because they're doing it all day, every day. It's not like, I don't think, dude, I've been with the real world at least what, a year and a half now. I don't think any professor has, the professors I follow, Michael and Adam, I
Adam.
don't think they've missed a day ever. And when I say a day, you can't pre-record. You can't build this information and put it up, right? It's daily levels. It's you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be there at
Yeah.
that time in that place. The only time Adam took off was for that fight, but
Mhm.
Michael's on every morning. If someone's posting the same old crap every day, you might start to lose, all right, this isn't that interesting or whatever. But I guarantee you the people that are trading and investing, the real world is retaining these people versus losing them because of the professor's ability to constantly improve their
Mhm.
teachings, their way of doing things. And yeah, so that was a little salute to Michael. And same with Adam,
Mhm.
um, I'm in there more from a macro picture, long term, but Adam's doing the same thing. He's started a couple new things. I follow Michael's a little bit more. But anyways, yeah, they're both just constantly reinventing the wheel and bettering themselves, whether it's their
Mhm.
journaling, the daily posts, the investing analysis. It's all great stuff. Michael's a little bit easier to follow, you know.
In what way?
Michael's easier to follow from like an English, just like it's easier to follow his stuff versus Adam, who's like more of, I hate to use the word, of a nerd. Like his investing analysis. I said this in the beginning, like his master class, it's hard, it's difficult stuff, and he's being dead ass. He's saying there's no shortcuts. You're going to have to pass this fucking class. If not, you're a bitch and you don't
Mhm.
deserve the signals, etc., etc. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I don't deserve those signals. I'll follow from I don't have that much time perspective, right? From the outside in. And that's all I mean by it's a little bit harder to follow. Like he's just using bigger terms, using, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to
Mhm.
economics and stuff like that. Where Michael's a little bit, his videos are a little bit easier to follow for myself.
Mhm. Fair enough. Okay. Since you've been in the crypto campus, you're saying for a year and a half at this point, how have you seen it evolve over time? What made you think stand out?
Yeah. So how did it evolve over time? So when I first started, it was Daniel. Daniel was there, who I'm actually
Oh
still in
yeah.
touch with to this day. He's crushing it. Love to see it. And people just have to do their own things, right? But I think about where it started and where it's gone. I've gone through the whole app, where they had to get taken off here, build a new app, and it's only gotten better. It's only improved. The chats, I like the way where they make you earn your spots in the chats because you have everything from, young kids that don't know how to, like, what fidelity even is, to 10-year vets. So they do a good job of kind of working your way up. And like, I think there was like a super soldiers chat. This isn't crypto campus, but it's just cool. It's like, okay, if you're made 10 or 20,000 a month, you get to be
Freelancing, yeah.
yeah, it's
Client acquisition now, yeah.
yeah. So I'm talking to people that are, at my level, right? Which is cool. So anyways, in regards to the crypto campuses, I just got to give them kudos for constantly evolving and making it better and improving themselves. And it's the consistency. I've always said in life, whether it's dog training or winning my tennis match or what the professors are doing, patience and consistency. You have to stay consistent, but you got to be patient. And I've been here for a year and a half, right? And I'm still here and it's only gotten better. So, same with the
Mhm.
bear market, right? So, I could tell they've both stayed consistent. You obviously have to be patient with crypto. But yeah, it's only improved since I've been here. I've been here almost 2 years, probably.
Awesome. Now, outside of crypto, since that was almost 10 minutes, we can go into everything else. You still have your dog business, right?
Yes, of course. We're just getting
How's that
started with
going?
that.
Perfect.
So yeah, the dog training business, I'm gonna go into that. Oh, here I just want to jump in real quick. So yeah, so you've got Michael in regards to upping the crypto game.
Mhm.
Michael is not posting every single day. He hasn't missed one day since I've been here that
Mhm.
I've noticed, and I'm in here every day. So he's doing a
Mhm.
daily levels every single day. He's doing
Mhm.
a daily lesson every day. He's doing a trade of the day every day. He's doing his analysis every day. His analysis is updating like multiple times a day. He's journaling every day. He's doing a daily stream every day. He's doing weekly, monthly outlooks. He's running a trading chat, a swinger chat, a position trade. Like, it's just unbelievable. He's got a goal crushers. Now he's got what's that other one? The trader boot camp. This is all new. This is fairly new. Fairly new. I don't want to say
Mhm.
completely new, but like, so that's Michael, right? It's crazy. And then you've got Adam, who has built like the hardest, most informative masterclass in the world for $50 a month.
Mhm.
Now he's got a long-term investing strategy. He's got your dollar cost averaging. He got his TPI. You've got your relative strength portfolio. But just like oh, look, today at 4:50 a.m. There was a huge update on this is what I needed to see. I need to take action now, but I'll do it after this
Mhm.
meeting. But seriously, this is huge. This is huge.
Mhm.
Right now, looking at this, I have to make a significant financial move after this call,
Mhm.
significant move because of this update. So I know I was just kind of chirping up Michael there, but it's the same for Adam. Same for Adam. So Adam is running all this crazy stuff as well. Um, he's doing the daily lessons as well, the journals. It's all great. They're funny too. They throw some humor in there. They're not just dry, and they're really easy to resonate with. So sorry, I just had to touch on that a little bit more before moving on to the dogs.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, now about the dog business. How's
Yes.
that going?
So I started my business in 2016 from absolute scratch. I was a nobody, as in I went away to learn how to train dogs. I had first worked for Xerox Corporation and Global Spectrum, both legitimate companies. So I knew what it was like to train for a big company, suit and tie, right? Type of work for 4 years. Now, I was in between jobs, got this opportunity to learn how to train dogs with the biggest training company of its kind. So there's like 400 or 500 franchises. So I'm like, this is gonna be legit. I went away for 3 weeks. I couldn't believe what I saw with my eyes. Didn't sign anything, cut ties immediately, started from scratch. So for a year or two, I basically gave it away for free, built, right? Built, bent over backwards, secured reviews, didn't stop until my clients were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Logged all of that, obviously, my reviews, my social media. I made before and after videos for every dog. And now that I've become the top rated dog trainer in New York State, and I just say that by Google and by reviews, by 5-star reviews, right? It's not biased at all. It's not fabricated. These are real life reviews. It's actually, you would think like, oh, you must be crushing it. Like you must be, on top of the world. Da, 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 da. No, I mean, you could find yourself on a hamster wheel. You could find yourself on a hamster wheel if you don't know how to scale. It's just running to the same client. You're in the same area. Now, this is where the real world and just general macroeconomics comes into play. I've been through everything now: bear, bull, recession, inflation. And what happened was, it was crazy, dude. I've seen it all now. So during COVID, after COVID, money was printing like crazy. So I was slammed with COVID. Think about it. Everyone got a dog during COVID. Everyone had money. I was training every day. Then all of a sudden, this recession comes along. Dude, I had never been this slow in my life. So this is where my lifestyle changed, and I had to go from physically training dogs all day, which is what I love to do, to working on the back end, like computer work all day, every day. So I had to reinvent the wheel here and get creative. And this is where other parts of the real world really came into play. Now, when we talk about other parts of the real world, well, you've got all sorts of campuses. The Money Bags is great just if I need to go in for, like, the Money Bags campus. I like it because I can hire in there. Okay. I could also go into any little section if I'm happen to be working on something on LinkedIn. I can go in there for a little tune up, right? But I really like it for the hiring, the certified freelancers chat. This is something the real world didn't have, like, I don't know, a year ago. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so that was my only issue when I first joined. Like, I'm a huge networker. I'm a big networker. So you kind of got to work your way up the ranks so you can message and talk to people. Well, now for the last year, whatever, 9 months, I've been able to talk and do anything. And I'm really able to start growing quickly now by networking, finding people all throughout the world, whether they're brand new to what they're doing or a veteran. I've really had success networking and hiring other students with the same mindset as me. For me, it's not about how smart you are or how experienced you are in something. I always ask people 2 questions. What is it that you love, and what are you great at? Because if you can combine those 2, that person, it's not going to feel like work for them. Does that make sense? So anyways, with that being said, it depends, right? If you're a business owner, if you got tons of money, well, yeah, maybe hire someone with experience, right? And spend the money on that person. But I also don't mind being a mentor to some of these newer people that are just starting off, because I'm 35 years old. I've been doing this, I've done every single thing you can imagine: SEO, website building, blogging, copy. I've done it all, right? So I don't mind mentoring people. So whether you are on a budget or not, there's so many people in the real world that are on the same page as you, which is to grow. And I've worked with people from Croatia, India, Serbia, Bangladesh. These are people I'm like pretty tight with. You know what I'm saying?
What jobs did you give them?
I've done I've done a $500 job for website work. I've got multiple people on retainers. I've got right now I've got a dude from Serbia who's editing and posting every day every day. So he's editing and chopping up and posting once a day. Then I have another editor doing the same exact thing. So as you could see, I'm able to start scaling, in this efficient way, in which I don't know if it would be possible without the real world.
Mm-hmm.
You could go on Fiverr or Upwork, and honestly, I've tried that shit. It's sketchy. It's hard to. I put posts up there. You get 100 response. I don't have time for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can go into the real world. You post what you need. You could see the person's credentials, whether they have proven track record of success or if they're fairly new. Because some people if you're on a budget and you're just starting out, you kind of want to work with those, people that are just working, just starting off, right? To learn from each other and feed off each other, and then if you're lucky, you find yourself a mentor inside the real world who needs help, and this is something personal to me that I wish more people understood. I don't know why I'm going down this route right now. You're asking about the real world, but this,
Yeah, this is completely fine because this is an aspect people don't really talk about. So it's good that you're mentioning it.
my whole thing is I think people would get a lot further in life if they just forgot about money for 1 month. For 1 month. All they have to do is provide value. And I know this is taught in the real world. Provide value for 1 month to someone like me. Prove it to me. For example, you have an editor, right? There's hundreds of thousands of them inside the real world, right? I'm going to go with the guy who edits and posts to my TikTok every day for 30 days. What happens on that 31st day when he stops posting? And he was doing a great job.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, I'm going to pay him great money. So anyways, that's because it's trial and error, right? You hire, fire until you find a good, and that's something I had to do myself to grow. I had to bend over backwards, give my training away for free, right? Why would someone pay me to train their dogs, right? So it's a lesson that I use day to day in my life. I just like people to prove themselves. And there's a lot of younger kids in there, and I get it. They are just, they want the money, but they got to understand it'll come. You just have to find it and prove yourself capable of earning it. Because there's so much money out there. All you have to do is solve someone's problems. But I think people have trouble with the proof of concept. You know what I mean? Anyone could say they could do this, this, and that, but until you could prove it to me for 2-3 weeks straight, a month straight, it's kind of just chirping, especially when you're working with people internationally because everyone's on different time zones and stuff like that. So that's a couple of the lessons I've learned from the last time we met to now. Is there's a lot of great help out there. There's bad help. We're all on different pages. We're all on different time zones, but through trial and error, through patience and consistency, you can really find what you're looking for. And right now, I've got a lot of stuff on autopilot, as I like to call it, which is great. So
Automated.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that perspective. As I said, haven't heard that before from previous people. So yeah, it's great to have that coverage. Now, something quite random. What's that in the background on the whiteboard?
Oh,
What does it say?
that's
30 dogs, half of 30 days. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's been up there for a while. So I had to get creative in regards to my physical dog training itself. So as I was explaining to you earlier, we're in this recession. My phone wasn't ringing. No one could afford my training. I thought all of a sudden I was hot shit because I am number one. I've been doing this for 8 years, et cetera, right? Well, guess what? We're in a recession. Nobody gives a shit about any of that stuff. You have to adapt to the times. Luckily, I am informed on macroeconomics and I understand nobody has money. So I said to myself, okay, how do I give my training away for half off without necessarily losing half of that money, right? So I said to myself, how do I do this? Well, I give it for half off, but I pair two dogs together, right? So I'm
Oh.
making the same amount of money in actually less time. So I came up with this plan in which it's a personal mission of mine to train 30 dogs in 30 days. So it's like, how do I do that, right? Well, by offering it for half off and by pairing them together. So, utilizing the real world, I hired a guy from Croatia, partnered up. He built me a landing page using his copywriting skills. Literally, he's using exactly what he learned in the
Mhm.
copywriting campus, and he was working on a landing page. So I got that built, kind of like a sales funnel, right? Linked it to my CRM, and yeah, I've got this deal right now in which I'm offering half off training. It's just local training, and the reason why it works is because I had to get creative, but try to envision for what I do, it's very personal. I get in my car, I drive to the client's house, I spend an hour with them going over the e-collar, and then I take their dog out for the day. So it's time consuming. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I get
Yeah.
these dogs done in 1, 2, 3 days max. So one or two of these sessions. Now, well, how do I save time? What I did was I say, you have to drop your dog off to the park on this day and time, along with Susie Q here. She's going to drop her dog off at that park. So all of a sudden, I'm saving time, right? I'm just driving to the park.
Mhm.
I'm drop shipping the e-collars to their home beforehand to do a quick little Zoom, 30 minutes to teach them how it works. I was going to pull up a box here. So I use one of these for every dog I train. It's an e-collar.
Mhm.
So it's like, you're not going to teach this to them with their dog pulling your arm off in the park. So I drop ship it to their home, teach them how to use it via Zoom. They get to know each other, and I save a ton of time. And they drop their dogs off the park, 10 o'clock, 2 p.m. They're there to practice, done by 3. Killing two birds with one stone, making the same amount of money.
Nice, nice. Very good.
So that's what 30 dogs in 30 days is, and that's currently running. Yeah, that's all that means. I got a lot of other stuff going on too, though.
Do you want to get into that
I don't
when you
know.
say a lot of other stuff?
Am I boring you?
Or do you
Do you
prefer
want me to
keeping it
go into it?
confidential? Pardon?
I could go into it.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear.
So I've also built a seminar in which I'll be drop shipping e-collars to people's homes and then teaching them how to use it. So I said to myself, there's a big market I'm missing as the recession hit. One, people aren't in my location, right? They're not physically in upstate New York. Two, they don't care if they can go completely off leash with their dog, regardless of distractions. They just don't, they're just not going to do that, right? Three, they don't have money. They can't afford it, right? So I built a seminar. It's like super cheap. I've actually built through the real world, outsourced some work, built another landing page, right? In which it's kind of a sales funnel landing page in which I will start with a email that is for a free seminar in which I educate. That's the issue with this. Nobody knows with these, and if they hear it, they're like, "Oh my god, shock the dog." There's no electric shock involved with this. This is absolutely the best tool to train a dog in the world. Gives people freedom. God's gift from this is a God's gift. So, anyways, with that being said, that's a completely different revenue stream, and I'm launching that probably in about a month. I could actually launch it today. I'm just strategically don't want to launch it because if everybody and their sister sees, oh, $400 training, they're not going to want to do the $1,300, whatever, $2,000
Mhm.
training. So that's something else I've built. I've got an online store. I'm just on a mission to become the #1 e-collar dealer in the world. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, with this, I've done graphics. So there's a remote in here, and I'm working on getting my logo on the remote. So I'm going to have a QR code. I want you to envision here. See this?
Yep.
So every dog I train, they're walking around with one of these on a lanyard on their neck, right? So when people see others in the park with this, they're going to say, oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, your dog is so good. All these dogs are off leash, right? So I'm in the park, I'm off leash with my dog. I just thought of this idea about a week ago. So you've got this on you, right? I'm going to put a QR code on here. QR code, right? So when Susie Q, who went through my training, right, says to Joe, who's like, oh my God, what is that at the park? She goes, oh my God, this is an amazing tool. Take a picture of it. Bam. Easiest user journey in the world. They go right from QR code to my store to either buy the e-collar straight up for 20% off, buy the seminar, which is $400. You get a $250 e-collar drop shipped to your doorstep, along with New York's top rated e-collar trainer to teach you how to use it, right? So, and then it was also just a couple other accessories that I am big on kind of in that store, you know, bungee collar, comfort pad, stuff like that, just some basic accessories, leashes. So that's something else I'm working on. I've got 2 books I'm working on. You can call them lead magnets, or just trying to, lead magnets, I guess you can call them. So one's predominantly focused on the e-collar. Another one's, I'm really focused on getting it publicized. It's a book on the training method I've invented, which is freedom reward based training. And so all of that is a work in progress. Yeah. And then networking, I'm planning to move come winter with people I've met in the real world.
Huh. Explain.
Yeah. So I met a guy through the real world in May, right? So he owns a social media marketing agency. I've been doing this for a while now, business, you know what I mean? I'm own my own business for 8 years now, and I saw something in this person right away, like sales. Sales is huge. People that can talk. He could talk sales. Anyways, we start working, right? He's helping me with stuff. You know, I'm throwing money at him. He's helping me with website issues. We become good friends. He comes and visits me from Rhode Island, stays 2 nights, films a day in a life with me and a dog. I literally get on the phone. I call a client in real time. He travels down with his camera, gets in my car, follows me to the client. He films it all, right? I've never met this client in my life before. Never. Comes down, films a day in the life, me talking in the car, getting the before footage of the dog being bad, films the whole client interaction, follows me throughout the day. Then by the end of the day, the client's healing her dog off leash down busy Broadway saying, you are amazing. So he captured that day in the life. So we're editing, working to put that up. And then we did a podcast. And anyways, we just hit it off. You know, we hit it off. And that was maybe a month or 2 ago. And we've just been in contact. We've been in contact every day since. Now, he's what I call a needle in a haystack. My issue is, like, I have been for the last 8 years, I tell people when I'm networking locally, I'm in search of people who are eager to grow personally and or financially via value-driven collaborations. Meaning, I don't give a shit if you sell insurance or real estate or whatever. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm trying to build with you. Does that make sense? Like new revenue streams or help each other or whatever, right? Like I don't need insurance, right? So locally speaking, I've just exhausted all networking options. I've gone through all of them, literally, physically, literally, and it's just all the same shit. Everybody's conditioned to think like it's just the same bullshit. It's real estate agents. Here's my card, you know, but they have no interest in building anything outside of what they're already doing. Does that make sense? No interest outside of what they're doing. So I've just been fucking ripping my hair out, sick of this shit. But I'm also not interested in just moving to a bigger city to pursue my dreams on my own. I've been in search of soldiers that have the same mindset as me to live and build with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
that's what you need. You need like-minded individuals. It's as simple as that. And I found that dude. I found that guy. We've been in contact every day since, always there for each other, and he's Slam. This dude is super young. I don't even need to go into it, but he's getting 6,000 retainer here, 10,000 a month here. He's got 15 people underneath him. This motherfucker is just, he's barely, he was 19 he's 20 years old. Kid's got a fucking better mind. So anyways, that's what I say by needle in a haystack. This motherfucker's got 12 people underneath him. His brain works differently. He's working Friday and Saturday nights till 2 a.m. That, like me, but I'm saying he's a needle in the haystack because he's so young. I bet you, I don't know anything personally about you, but when I was 20, I was drinking, partying. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let that shit get to him, and I'm watching him in real time fucking grow. He didn't even have a fucking URL. He didn't even have a website when I met him. Now he's getting 10,000 a month retainers. Dead ass. It's crazy. But I saw it in his eyes. I knew it once I met him, the way he talked, the way he spoke, the way he moved and grooved. I knew he was going to be successful, and now I'm watching it come to fruition. So anyways, I'm moving to Tampa with him and his manager, maybe one other, at the end of the year, like come winter. So, and it's just to build, to keep growing.
You're showing a very interesting perspective of the real world. Hiring people through the client acquisition campus, networking, then actually meeting up with them, and by the end of the year, you're saying moving in with them.
Yeah,
is crazy. Just how much you get from that platform. Wow.
right, exactly. It's all coming first full circle, right?
What will you do with your dog training business since you built up a reputation locally? Does that mean you just need to start again in Tampa, or does part of that reputation continue with you?
That's a great question because I would say most of my dogs come from referrals, or the people that find me on Google. But yeah, my Google reviews will never go anywhere. So when I get to Tampa, the goal is still the same. If someone first off, January in upstate New York, it gets cold and snowy. I'm a skier, so I've kind of been like a ski
Ooh,
bum the
same.
last 7-8 winter. Like, I enjoy the winters. I'll ski 30, 40 times. But you know what? Instead of being I call it, like, I'm like a fake ski bum. You know what I mean? Like, this mountain's okay. I can do what I want, but it's like, I want to be a real ski bum one day. To become a real ski bum and move to fucking, Aspen for a whole season, do whatever the fuck I want, I have to not be a fake ski bum for a season. So move to Tampa, so I don't even have the chance to drive to the mountains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do real life training. I'm anti sit with the treat facility bullshit. It's all just stuff that people can learn on YouTube. Like, they could do it themselves. So I've never had a facility. I don't want a facility. So if you think about the seasons right now, September, October, November, this is the best time of the year for me to train. Even December, that's fine. Come winter, move to Tampa. It's cooler down there, right? So I'll still be doing my physical one-on-one training while building other platforms, while building other projects. So with that being said, we have plans to start a podcast the day we move in. That is personal, right? So I've got my dog brand and my personal brand, and that's been harder to figure out, but I've realized it's two completely separate audiences, right? So personal dogs. So we'll start podcasting once we get out there, and the dog training stuff. I want to build I'm kind of in the midst of building a program. I want to teach other people how to train dogs. So I want to certify other people. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm basically
Or,
teaching other people how to make money training dogs.
yep. Because at this point, you have the experience to do so, and it makes sense. And it's more time efficient at that point for you to train other people what you know,
Exactly.
rather than spending time with the dogs yourself. Okay,
Exactly.
very nice. Solid. That's exciting. What's happening? Super cool to hear.
Yeah, a lot going on, and
Mhm.
a big part of it is boosting my. So I'm just with the social media editing and posting. I just realized it's a viral world. I built everything with my own hands from the ground up. So that's why I've got all this posting going up. So boosting my audience for the next quarter, 3 months should really help too. Because like I'm sitting here, I'm
Mhm.
like every fucking client of mine is literally in one day telling me they're in shock. They cannot believe this, you know what I'm saying, with the results of their dogs completely off leash in a
Mhm.
day. And I'm like, I have a fucking skill, excuse my language. I have a number one rated skill. The issue is nobody knows about it outside of
Yep.
upstate New York.
Yep.
It's,
Yep. Yep.
dude, people with money will pay for 20 grand for this.
Yeah.
People that have FU money will no doubt pay
Yeah.
20 grand for this like that. It's so personal to me.
Mhm. There's
Um,
someone I spoke to, I think it was probably a month ago now. He had a car, I can't remember, was it car repair business or car detailing business? And
sure.
he said he built up a social media presence, and he had people coming from different countries bringing the car to for him to again, I can't remember if it was tune up or fix or what. But because of the social media presence, he was getting international clients in a way. He's like, I had 12 tourists come in at one point, and he was surprised, and he asked like where they found out about him, and they said through social media. So yeah, again, that it's so important to have that social media presence. So it's good that you're going to build it.
And that's wild. That's detailing a car.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
talking down his skill, but that's vacuuming and Windexing a car, right?
No, I mean detailing. If it was, I think it was more repairing and or
Well,
tuning up by
I don't
detailing.
wanna I'm
But
not
yeah,
shitting on detailing, I'm just saying he built his audience, that's what mattered. It's gotta be a lot more
yeah,
than
yeah.
vacuuming car, but I'm sitting here, I've got this 1% skill, no one else could do it. I tell my
Mhm.
clients, I tell people in the parks, I'm like, "I don't understand how I'm the only one who could do this." Give people total control of their dogs without a leash,
Mhm.
regardless of distractions, no treats in one day. I've also gotten better at
Yeah.
what I do, and I'm just sick of
Mhm.
not getting in front of and helping more. I want to help more people faster by building these platforms to
Mhm.
educate other people how to do what I do, obviously, right? That's how I can exponentially grow, help more people faster. But most importantly, getting in front of the people that are going to appreciate it, that have the
Mhm.
money, that are literally can't sleep at night because their dog is such a nuisance, holding them back from living their lives. I
Yep.
will fly out and help you tomorrow. And let's go.
Yep.
And I'm just upstate New York can only get so far. That's that.
Mhm. Okay, so in those 5 months, now let's speak. How much can you reveal monetarily that you've earned? How have things been progressing? You said you had a slow period, so not expecting much there. Just and things have picked up more recently, right?
Yeah, so I actually want people to know this. Like, it's not. I had to adapt because this was hard for me. I love being on my feet. I love physically training dogs. I love helping people with their dogs, like driving around, training, physically training, being in the parks, talking. I am not a sit behind the computer guy. I actually hate that work. It's got to be done though. When building a business, you have to adapt to the times. You have to go through that period. So there was like a 2 month period, dude, where I was making like nothing. And that's a hard feeling. It's tough. Like I'm here busting my ass on the computer 14 hours a day building, right? Landing pages, CRM, SEO, Google business page, new website. Oh, that is trash. Take that down. Another new web. You know what I'm saying? So you have to accept those times in which you're not making money or spending money to build, and then it'll come. So I had to deal with
Mhm.
so since the last time I interviewed you, there was a good like 2 months I was just building. But you heard everything I just built during that time period, between spending that money hiring, this, that, and now I would say I did probably 20K this month with a goal of another 40K by the end of the year, maybe 60K.
Which is completely achievable. Probably even you'll exceed it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably will because of all that work I put in during those 2 months. You know what I mean? And now I'm on
Yeah,
this
yeah.
mission to physically train as many dogs as I can. And that's what's great too. I'm naturally creating a sense of urgency for people because it's not like, oh, this is a limited time offer. No, I'm moving. I'm moving. So I'm telling this to people on my social media platforms like, listen, I'm here to help. I hate to call it cheap, but this is the best time to get training. And this message is really resonating with people
Mhm.
because they can get me before I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm going to
Right.
Florida. And between me and you, Rokas, 2 years, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, I hope to only be training much higher end dogs. Right now, people
Mhm.
can get my training for half the price of what I usually charge. But
Mhm.
who knows in 2 years, a year or two from now. So
Yeah, yeah.
if you're local and watch this, I don't know how many local people are watching this. Hit me up because now's the
Cool.
time.
Cool. 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 Okay, now a more specific question, more personal. I really like Japanese Akitas, but I know they are quite hard to train and take a lot of effort to train. And maybe they're not the best family dogs either, at least from what I know. Do you think that's the case, or can that be changed? What's your experience with them?
That's a great question. I've had a couple Akitas. They're a bit aloof. They have a very high pitched bark, but any dog is trainable. And I I hate a lot of trainers out there because a lot of them make excuses. Oh, this dog. So first off, I don't work with aggressive dogs. It's an oxymoron going off leash with an aggressive dog, right? So that's kind of an easy conversation with people. Like you're not going to go off leash with this aggressive dog, right? I could help people with aggressive dogs. I know how to get control of them, but there's a lot of liability, etc. Going back to your Akita question, let's just say it's a 5 month puppy, 6 month puppy. Any dog is trainable. I have never had a dog I couldn't train, and I'm training dogs faster than ever by using a very natural and organic approach. So I want everybody out there to hear this. I don't care how old your dog is, how young they are, 4 or 5 months. Any dog is trainable, and you could get them trained very quickly if you find the right trainer. So
Hmm.
Akitas, it's interesting that you mentioned that, right? Because they're pretty rare dogs. You don't see them every day. I just had a Jindo, a Korean Jindo. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I need to look that up.
Look it up right now. So it's a part of the Spitz breed. It's kind of like a hybrid of a Pomeranian and
Oh,
an Akita.
hmm,
And then you've got the
interesting.
Samoyeds, but there's only 10 of these in the country. How cool is that? So, like, this is a cool part of my job. I never know who's going to call me, right? I never know what type of dog I'm going to get. I get all age breeds and sizes, and I'm more confident than ever that I can help. And the
Mhm.
dog's doing amazing. I just stay away from severe aggression. But, anyways, yeah, Korean Jindo, super cool dog, and it's just another breed to add to the resume.
Mhm. Okay, so you're saying it could be trained to be a family dog, Japanese Akita, even though the reputation is one of more independence and not really family orientated.
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, so I wouldn't say you can train a dog to love people, like to be more playful. You could just train it to be able to walk outside and then come to you anytime you say come. But that's actually a good question. No, I wouldn't say you can't just like rewire a
Mm.
dog to be more playful and like, you know what I mean? If they're just sort of that aloof, independent type
Okay.
breed.
So that's still part of the dog breed, and it's innate in the majority of dogs of that breed. Obviously, there will be some exceptions, but you still can listen to
Yeah,
what the generalization is.
I never tell anybody. Like I say, every dog is different. I don't care of the age, breed, size. Why? Because every dog, client, environment, what you're doing with the dog, sensitivity level, distraction, what excites them, what distracts them, what scares them, it's completely different from the next. How that dog was raised, right? So you could have a
Mhm.
properly raised German Shepherd that by 6 months is doing military healing completely off leash, or you could have a German Shepherd that was locked in a basement to a chain for 2 years that's extremely aggressive. So when people ask, like, what's your favorite breed or this or that, it's like, well, just because it's a German Shepherd or a Pit Bull doesn't mean it's always going to have the characteristics of a German Shepherd or Pit Bull or vice
Hmm.
versa. So, because I work with a lot of abused rescues and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. You've got the characteristics of a shepherd. They're loyal, they're attached, they're protective, right? That's how most of them are. But I don't like to sit here and say every German Shepherd's like that.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah. That was educational. Thank you.
got you.
I like that. Okay, what else do we have? In terms of future plans, you said kind of short term. You gave a bit of medium term as well over the next few years, planning on going to higher ticket clients. Is there anything more for long term?
Yeah, I'm just excited to move somewhere new and continue boosting my audience. It's marketing is something I never really had to do back in the day. Um, once I got going, it was kind of like the snowball effect, and so tells this person, and never really had to market. But if you
Mhm.
want to take things to the next level, you have to market. And
Yep.
yeah, I'm just excited for a new scene. I'm excited to live with people that are as eager to grow as me, which I haven't had in the past. Um, yeah, continue boosting my audience, myself, my business, and then we'll take it from there. I might franchise out. I might certify other trainers. I've got the seminar going on. So a lot. I've got the online store. I've got the books I'm writing. So it's perpetual work, as you know, regardless of,
Mhm.
what industry or niche you're in. But as I like to say, the system is the most important. We're building systems, automating workflow and building systems. Now everybody has to fit in that system. And if you can find that combination of what do you love and what are you great at, and you could fit yourself in a system, you're going to grow, right?
Yep.
So you're very good at what you do, and I would envision you love doing what you do.
Yep. I do indeed.
You look great, by the way. New background.
Yep. New me as well. Because when I look back on old interviews, I say this all the time. I'm just completely different. It seems sometimes it's even hard to listen to myself from before because of how different I am now. But that's how you know you're improving when
Right.
it's hard to listen to your old self. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very happy with the person I'm becoming. The how things are progressing as well. I just said new background in a studio now. It's just yeah, everything's going very well. Super happy.
I would say you look like you're in like a studio in LA or something.
Studio in Spain.
You're in
So
Spain.
yeah, yeah,
Have you moved or anything since you?
yeah. I guess when we last done it was I was in the UK.
Oh wow. Okay,
Oh,
so you're
no.
making the same.
Insane changes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The everything's just
That's what it's all about.
awesome. Yep. And now I'm going into a war mode. I'm doing 3 interviews minimum every single day to upload. Yesterday I had 6. Today I had 4. So yeah,
So how many interviews are you doing a day?
at minimum 3. Releasing minimum 3,
Wow.
but recording sometimes more. As I said yesterday, I've done 6.
And do
So yeah,
you do any other? Do you do like editing and posting and stuff like that, or are you just the interviewer?
depends. Currently, I'm doing long form and then have an editor for short form. Had an editor for long form as well, but then some stuff circumstances changed, so now I do it myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
but short form have an editor.
Well, and that's what it comes down to. It's like as much as I hate micromanaging, but in the end, like I think people have to understand, like almost every entrepreneur out there has to get their feet a little wet in everything, like dip your toes in everything versus
Mhm.
outsourcing everything, right? So as the years have gone on, I'm glad that I've had to learn almost every aspect of
Yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's the ideal. Apologies for cutting you off, but that's how it should be. First, you learn that skill, and then you outsource it. So then you actually understand when the other person, whatever work they give you, you can see if it's actually good or bad work and if anything needs changing. Whereas if you had no idea about it, then you'd accept it and then you'd have to actually distribute and see if there are any results before knowing if it's good or not. So in that way,
100%,
yeah, like as you
100%,
say.
dude. Because I've realized, oh my god, the amount of people I've hired and stuff, and just realized, oh my god, you're making my life harder right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I want to help you grow and all that stuff, but no, not going to work because I've gone
Mhm.
through it. So yeah, you learn it. And that's just great about the real world. I'm a little bit older. I've been through it all. I've seen it all. I'm grateful to be in my position. But if you're younger, don't just start like go through it all. Educate yourself. There's plenty of time. Work with speed, obviously, but educate yourself first in as many aspects of business as you can. And one, and two, get good at selling. Because if you can talking is just,
Mhm.
in my opinion, a very valuable trait. And we live in a world ever since COVID, a lot of people got sheltered and isolated. So I'm a little bit older. I can imagine these kids in high school, they're wearing fucking masks and shit, and they're put inside for 2 years, stuck on their phones. It's like, try to get away from that stuff and, use the online platform, but also don't be afraid to, get face to face with people, whether it's Zooming or in person. Um, Sales is just being able to speak, and selling is just so important, in my opinion.
Mhm. Right. And yeah, a very good life skill to have.
Yeah.
So for sure, at some point, a lot of people recommend to, at some point in your life, just learn sales, and not necessarily for making money, but just because it's a good life skill. So yeah.
And I know you have there's the UGC campus, which is great. That's basically turning people
Yep.
into exactly what I just said.
Then Business Mastery Campus also made sales lessons, how
Right.
you can learn the skill of sales and then get work from it. That's just, yeah, it's insane. Again, everything in the
Yeah.
real world. How are they charging $50?
I know. That's what I'm
Why?
saying.
Why?
I know.
All of that. What?
And it's wild because people in America I'm older, right? I'm older. My colleague friends, let's just call them friends, acquaintances, friends. If I told them, yo, the real world is the best on, like, it's unbelievable how amazing this is, the benefits I'm getting, they would think I was a joke because they're
Yeah.
conditioned, they're
Yep.
content. They're not going to go further than you know what I mean? They get the white picket fence, they have the
Yeah.
dog, the baby, whatever, and that's it. They're 30-year trap with the mortgage. That's it. Little do they know there's fucking like gold just being hand delivered for essentially free. Like for me, this is like free, handed to you on a silver platter, but they're just ignoring it. So unfortunate for
Mhm.
them, but I'm taking advantage of it for sure.
Yeah. So we can wrap up with that.
Yep.
For people who are unsure about joining the real world because they think it might be a scam for the $50, what advice would you have to them?
Right. It's sad. It's sad that anyone would think that because it's an absolute gold mine of information, networking. Yeah, whether it's business, investing, trading, UGC, content creation, e-commerce, dropshipping. It's all in there. Every single thing you need to know to grow, you know, it's in the real world.
Yeah. Cool. And if people want to find out more about you or contact you, maybe for dog training, maybe for questions, where can they do so?
Yeah, so it's great off leash dog training. You could check me out on Instagram, off leash dogs. Just a little
Hmm.
underscore in between each word, off underscore leash dogs. You can go to my website, greatdogcoaching.com. You can find me on pretty much any social media platform. My name's Brad Cranston. I'm the owner and head trainer. My company is called Great Off Leash Dog Training. And yeah, you can find me on pretty much any social platform. My Google business page, that really gives people I like to give that out to prospects when I'm bopping around because it gives them a true feeling for what I do from the client's perspective. So,
Hmm.
Google business page, great off leash dog training.
Cool. We'll add those to the description of the video. Hey, Brad, love the catch up. Great to hear just how much you have going on, how everything's progressing, the goals you have moving in with potentially four of you moving into the same place. That would be huge. Imagine how much more your progress will get supercharged.
Yep,
So excited to do another follow up at some point. Maybe once you've moved in Tampa, have a bit of progress there. Do a third follow up and see how everything's going. And yeah,
absolutely.
until then, wish you all the best.
Will do. I've got to get to my investing analysis video. I will let you go. And it was great catching up with you, Rokas. Thanks for the interview.